What is chirpin, my peeps? Call me Peeps are back for episode 17 of our Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Reverse Dungeon Order. As you can tell, I am wasting no time here. No time at all. So, I went and looked, and I watched my second playthrough of the game. So, that episode, I went the wrong way. That's a bad start. That episode, from the time we were in Ganon's castle to until when the end words hit the screen, it was like a clean 32 minutes. Now, I didn't watch the video. I just saw, I skipped around to make sure, what is each of everything doing? How is, each of everything affecting the other, so on and so forth, blah, blah, yada, yada. So, excluding all of this, when we enter that black door there, when we enter the door here, it's going to be roughly half hour from that point to hitting the words "the end." So I would be okay with a 35-minute video if need be. We've had 30-somethings in the past. This is the finale, and I think overall I've done a very good job at keeping these shorter, around 20. I'd say they average probably 27 minutes. Because there's not really anywhere to cut. It's not like the 20-minute mark is, a good place to cut, or it's, it's just, it is what it is. So basically, because we're already 2 minutes in, it's probably going to be around 35 minutes from until we see the end screen as far as the episode goes. So from this point, it took me 32 to hit the end screen. So, depending, gosh dang it, I'm gonna really try, we didn't take damage there, I'm gonna really try to rush through this. Again, I don't know how well I did on any of the fights, I don't know where time could have been saved, if I did really good, I don't remember, so. The first glitch, if you're supposed to do all these trials. We don't want to do these trials, it's a waste of time and there's no point. So, what we're gonna do is we're going to pull this guy over here towards the door, and very simply, you're just going to get an angle and jump slash. He will push us through the door. Now what you do here, just get close to the door, you want to get a straight angle, and you want to side hop left 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then basically you just aim towards the middle of all these pillars. I would not recommend backwalking, but you can if you want. And we've skipped past the barrier was not loaded, and we are now inside Ganon's castle. Look at that. So if you want to save in here, you can, because this is where the game will put you if you save, in case something happens, and if you're not confident doing that last trick. Basically what that last trick was, it was like what we did in the Force Temple. We loaded a room without loading the textures, but we loaded the actual room. It's basically what we did. So because we didn't load the textures, the barrier was not technically there, and all jolly good fun, guys. Now, getting the Ganon sword even though it made the last episode kind of wonky, it may be good for this episode, because it'll really help us move past these rooms very quickly, which is what I'm hoping for. I'm really trying to push this, because again, I feel like I had a pretty good Ganon tower on that playthrough I watched, so I feel like 32 is no joke. And there you go. Now come on. Stop running. I don't want your buddy to come back. Wow. He's literally playing the troll game. Thank you. Can we have a heart? Heart's not going to be necessary, but okay, he didn't drop one. That's fine. If you lose one fairy to Ganon, it's actually kind of preferred. It's actually kind of preferred to walk into Ganon with an empty bottle. And I'm not going to purposely lose a fairy, but if we lose one, I'll show you why. But if I can successfully ping pong, which I've actually never done. I've always had to use the bottle. But now these guys are a pain. I just want to make sure I have power crouch stab set up, because these guys are a real pain. You see it, the Ganon sword? Look at that. Look at that. They fall a lot quicker. Like, that's 4 hits, you know? They dropped hearts too, which is nice. That's 4 hits, as opposed to the Master Sword, which was what? It was 3 when their armor fell off, and like, what, 4 or 5? Like, I don't know, you can just see where the Begoran sword comes in handy. You know? It really does come in handy. I don't know why I backflipped over that. It's probably just as fast as taking the time to take the small hop to it, but whatever. Alright, so we're at the Ganon fight. Like, you can see, there's really no place that I could split this episode up, which is why I'm not. I mean, 2 16 minutes, or maybe like a 2015. But there's really, like, nowhere to split this that would be good. So I'm just gonna go for broke here. If we have a good Ganon fight, you can actually one-cycle Ganon, but it's hard because you can't use ISG. Well, let me phrase that. You can, but your time to get it is so limited that unless you're really good ISG, you probably shouldn't try it. You're probably better off just sitting there spamming your crouch stabs to damage him. I'm going to go for 2 ISGs, because if we can get one, we should be able to one-cycle him. Because I feel a lot better about my ISG skills. They're not perfect, but I feel a lot better. Basically, if you know this fight, Ganon will get rid of Navi for most of the fight, but when you hit him with the light arrow, Navi temporarily comes back, which I did not know for the longest time. So that's when you can get your ISG. And assuming you get it quick enough, you can kill him before he pops back up and you have to play ping pong with him again, all that fun stuff. So Ganon here, he wants to take all 3 Triforce pieces. He has the Triforce of Power, Link has the Triforce of Courage, and Zelda has Triforce of Wisdom. And again, I think I've mentioned it before, but the Triforce in the beta for this game actually was an obtainable item, which is just kind of funny. I would recommend putting on the hover boots, just because it'll be quicker to get across the gap. Now again, I'm not the best at ping pong with Ganon here, but I'm really gonna try. If you, oh my gosh, if you end up losing a bottle, use the bottle to swipe at Ganon. I'm saying this just in case I one-cycle him, because the bottle gives you so, wow, this is not, he's not getting one-cycled. Wow, and wow, that was complete trash on my part. Oh my gosh. The bottle gives you so much leniency. If you're way early or way late, like, the bottle really gives you a lot of leniency time. I would like to show off the bottle, but at the same time, I would like to show off a good ping pong if I can get it. Like, I'm doing pretty decent. I'm going to set up my crouch stab first so I don't waste this again. Alright, so we got that. Because see, we have a little bit of time. Oh my gosh, I didn't get over here quick enough. Yeah, it was a mistake trying to go for ISG. I never go for it, and there's a reason why. If you're better off, you see we didn't take damage because we were rolling. That's why it's helpful to just roll around and then hope for the best. But, are you serious? You're just going to spam this now? Oh, this could be interesting. If you just sit there and power crouch stab and spam it, look at that, that's why you roll. Rolling is so OP. If you just, alright. I guess I forgot. I never got this weak in the fight. If you just sit here and power crouch stab, you should kill him in 1 to 2 cycles. You can kill him spamming in 1 cycle, but it's really hard because it has to be like frame perfect. Usually you'll kill him in 2 cycles if you just go spam on him, but sometimes, depending on your luck, you might have to do 3. Most of the time you'll do 2 though if you just spam him, which is what I should have done. And I'm actually surprised that I was able to ping pong there successfully. But again, I promise you, if you have an empty bottle, swipe the empty jar at him when he does that. So much leniency. It's so good. I kind of really actually wish I could have shown it off. I kind of actually wish I could have shown it off. I regret not losing a fairy specifically for that. It's whatever, though. Take my word for it. I promise it's good. Absolutely promise it's good. I'm really regretting not showing it off now. I mean, I know time is of the essence, but I feel like I'm moving fairly quickly through this. And again, I am actually content with a 35 minute. I prefer not, but I'm content with it. Oh well. It's whatever. I promise you use the bottle. Promise. 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 Anyways, Ganon's trying to crush the tower, so we need to leave. So Zelda, if you quit talking, we will. Now I believe that the lag is actually worse than on the 64 version. I believe because of because it's been ported, the lag here is a lot worse than on the 64. But it's okay. It won't affect us too much. For speed running, it's kind of, you know, it makes it tricky on which version you want to run, but if you line up right here, Zelda will actually push you into the doorway as she opens this, so you don't have to waste the 1 second to walk into the load zone there. I mean, it's nothing major, but also make sure you follow Zelda here. Don't cut through the room. A lot of the time, if you cut through, she'll be waiting for you in the middle, and so you're not really going to save time by cutting the room, because she'll wait for you to go get close to her. She just wants to get close to Link. I mean, I don't blame her. Link's a hunk, but you know, just the more you do. And if you get to the door before her, if you zoom in with your C stick and look at the ground, you'll actually reduce the lag, because you know, you're just looking at the ground. You're not really loading in all the background behind Link. So, I mean, it's still happening, but it's not really big. So it's taking a little bit less stress, or it's taking a little bit of the stress away. But we're just constantly getting rocks falling on us. Now here we're gonna have 2 Skullfuls come out, so no big deal. No, I didn't want to talk to you. I guess that works. She'll walk over there, and then very convenient, a circle of fire. Now you're dead. See, the Goron sword, even though really kind of screwed up last episode, it's actually going to really help with this one. And if you take any damage, she'll give you hearts. If you are full on hearts, then she'll just give you rupees. She'll drop rupees instead, just ones, but you know, neither are really incredibly important unless you, oh gosh, unless you took a lot of damage. But that little point of damage probably wasn't going to be much. Push us, but push us forward, not out of the way. I don't know if you can do it on every door, but I know the one door I've successfully done it on is called the kiss door. And it's because when Link turns around to look at her for the cutscene, it looks like they're kissing. So people commonly refer to it as the kiss. In my second playthrough, I didn't get the kiss, and that kind of upset me. So I'm really hoping that I can, gosh, I don't know. Some people backwalk through this and don't get caught. I don't know how. I don't know if you're supposed to side hop first or what, but I always get caught trying to do that. Now this is the kiss door. I'm hoping I can line up the kiss. Oh, wow. I'm taking damage here because I really want to line up the kiss. No, I missed. Ah, fudge. I was trying to move left. I missed the kiss, unfortunately. I would have loved to show off the kiss in the episode, but darn. I guess it's just like the bottle thing. It's just something that I failed on. I couldn't do. I guess the bottle I could have done, but I just had to go a tad bit left there. I don't know if you saw, but I was trying. I tried to move a little left. I knew it. That's okay, because eventually I actually do plan on running through this game legitimately. I don't know how long, but because there's so much I want to record, but I do one day plan on doing it legitimately. So, you have my word that I will get the Kiss that playthrough, even if I have to edit it in later. I will show the Kiss that playthrough, and I will show you the true power of the bottle. Mark my words. I can't guarantee when that playthrough even comes out. You know, I want to do Master Quest first, because I've never played Master Quest, and I feel like that would really be entertaining. Oh, will actually turn against me. So I want to do that first. There's a bunch of other things I want to do first. So I can't even guarantee it comes in the next year or two. You know, it might be 3-4 years from now. I don't know. At the very least, though, I have this definitive version of my RDO. Now, this is where super sliding again is not necessary, but it'll really help you out. Now, like I told you, during this fight with Ganon, except the Master Sword's damage is reduced to 1. Even the Giant's Knife, Begoron Sword, all of that. Arrows, everything. So, obviously, keeping the Master Sword is ideal. So you don't want to move too far into this cutscene here. But what you want to, if you can super slide into this cutscene, look at that. Hold Z the entire time. Do not drop Z. Look at that. Link's basically scared of Ganon. No, he's not. But he's hiding his face. He's hiding from Ganon. Ganon's just too ugly to look at. Just kidding. Ganon's actually... I really like Ganon. Even though he's the villain, I do like Ganondorf. But, as you can see, we're holding our shield up. Now, what this super slide is doing is... What's going to happen... What's supposed to happen is... Ganon will knock the Master Sword out of your hand. And for the first phase of this fight, you have to use all your other weapons to damage. And again, everything's reduced to 1. However, by holding our shield up and doing the super slide and glitching here, we actually get to keep the Master Sword for the first phase of the fight. And you just want to hold it until the fight starts. Don't let go. And then once the fight starts, you can see, we still have the Master Sword. So, we have the Master Sword. Shoot. I meant to roll. That's okay, we still got 2 fairies, and one of these pillars, you can have Ganon break the pillars, or I believe you can even bomb them. But one of these pillars holds a bunch of fairies, so if worse comes to worse, you know, we just have him do that. But I think the ideal thing to do here is you want the range of... I don't know why he's sitting there attacking the same spot. Usually what happens is he'll turn around. And you can see we had the range of the Begoron Sword there, only the damage of the Master Sword. So if you have the Begoron Sword / Giant's Knife, what you want to do is Master Sword, it's basically the reverse actually. You want to get jump / ISG with Master Sword, and then pull up the Begoron Sword for the range. But as you can see, you could actually get in here and get a free jump slash off, but whatever. Now, Light Arrow stunned him, which the only reason I stunned him is to get ISG, again, just so we can... Now, the way this is supposed to work is you're supposed to... You see how he turned like that? What you want to do is roll under his tail, get your hit off, and then roll back so that he'll splash, and then roll under his tail. You're basically just continuously rolling under his tail. We took damage, or we didn't take damage because we were rolling, which I'm okay with. And if you ever need to, just use light arrows. They'll stun him, and, you know, then you're good. If you don't super slide into the cutscene, I would recommend using the light arrows in the first phase of the fight so that you can get behind him to attack his tail. Because with everything doing 1 damage, you're going to need to get behind him to do damage. You could try rolling under him and that stuff, but I'm not doing the best roll, but it's okay. Look at that. Ganon's done. I told you, Ganon, like, that was, I mean, it took us 2 minutes to get into the castle. We're 19:30 in, so it's literally like 18 minutes to climb up and come back down. Of course, this was a very good run, actually. Like, there were very little mistakes. The Ganon fight actually wasn't too good, actually. The Ganon fight wasn't the best, actually, so, I don't know. It could be improved. This could maybe be like a 15-minute climb. And usually when I do this, I end up losing my 3 fairies and have to have him break the fairy thing to catch some. But we ended with 2 fairies still, so... we've done it. Our RDL was over. We defeated Ganon. And, I'll quickly finish explaining if you can't super slide. So if you can't super slide, use your light arrows. They'll put him in that stun. You can get behind him, use the hammer or arrows to shoot his tail or whatever. Again, with doing only 1 damage, I think you need to hit him like 11 times or something. So you'll be there a while. It's not impossible, but you'll be there a while. And if you run out of magic, you saw one of those things holds magic, one of them holds bombs, another will hold arrows. Just have him break those things for the things you need. And if you run out of magic, and even the magic that they give you, a normal arrow will stun him, but not for long. It stuns him for he'll sit there, shake his head, and then start chasing him. It's like a maybe 1 or 2 second stun. It's not very long, but it is enough to get behind him. Like if you have no magic and you have arrows, I'd recommend shooting him with an arrow, and then while still locked on, jump, side hop, and you'll start hopping around him, and then shoot his tail with an arrow. And then you can keep doing that. You use 2 arrows to do 1 damage, but, it can be a good way to damage him if you need to. Another way, you could roll under him and try to hit him with the hammer. Might be hard though if his tail's in the air, the hammer hits the ground, It's just very generally easier if you walk in with the Master Sword and the Giant's Knife. Giant's Knife for the range, Master Sword for the damage. But if you can't super slide, there's really nothing you can do. Again, don't walk too far forward into that cutscene. I also recommend walking away from Zelda like you saw me do, because you don't want to lock onto her and ruin your super slide angle. While we're this whole end thing's coming on, I'll commentate on the things happening on screen, but I want to before we hit the end screen, I want to try and explain everything so we can hopefully keep it under 30 minutes. I don't know for sure, but last time I did this, I talked about everything I wanted to when the end came up, and so that added like an extra 3 or 4 minutes, so it's whatever. Anyways, I feel like overall, I'm really pleased with how this run went. Escaping the forest always gave me trouble, the one way anyways. That's nothing new. But I think it took me like 20 or 30 minutes. I don't remember. I know last run I recorded, it took me a while, and it sucked. But, by the way, this would really suck. Like, basically, you just saved everything, and then Zelda's over here like, I need you to give me the ocarina, I need you to return the Master Sword, and no one's gonna remember anything you did for them. It's like, you can keep your memories, Link, but no one's gonna remember this. It'd be so hard after all this to give everything up like that. It really would. I don't know if I could. It's really crazy. And then look at that. Zelda's like, you have to say goodbye to me. And it's just like, oh, it would be so hard. By the way, we're giving her an ocarina we do not have. By the way, we do not have the Ocarina of Time, so I don't know where Link pulled that out from. I don't know where it's whatever. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, the Cucko jump went extremely well. I fell once, and then we did it immediately after. So Cucko jump went well. Crossing the desert, probably about average for me. Shadow Spirit Temple, about average. Getting the boss key was way worse than I'm used to, but other than that, everything else went pretty well. Shadow Temple was normal. Shadow Temple gave me trouble like always. Really scared me. We almost game over. By the way, we did it. 3 hearts, no game over. We did my added stipulations. Look, there's Gabora Keabora. The owl. But we made it past Bongo Bongo. Water Temple, a little mistakes. Basically, I'll talk about this at the end. So, Water Temple, fairly good, well, except for a couple things. Fire Temple, same thing. Fire block skip was about normal, maybe a little bit worse than I'm used to. But it's by no means an easy thing to do, so I'm not too upset about it. It took, 25 minutes? It's kind of long. Sometimes, usually it takes me about 15 on average, so it was kind of long, but it's okay. The rest of the temple went pretty smooth. Again, just a couple minor hiccups. What came next? Forest Temple went pretty well. We didn't have to edit out the glitches at the beginning, so that made me happy. That's the other thing. We didn't have to edit anything out this run. That makes me so happy. Everything on screen is everything I played. Nothing was left out. Nothing was done off screen. That makes me happy. So, unlike last playthrough where almost everything was except the Forest Temple thing, because it took too long. After that, you know, Phantom Ganon was actually a really good fight. Child Dungeons, those all went super smooth. Super smooth. Jabu Jabu, other than the hiccup on getting inside, went very smoothly. Fire Temple went very smoothly. The fire jumping part was about normal. Maybe I'd say even a little bit quicker than what I'm used to. I'm usually used to like 10-15 minutes on it, so a little bit quicker than usual. Maybe about average, I don't know, somewhere around there. Either way, it went pretty smoothly. Forest Temple, other than the Goma hiccup, which was just one thing, went very smoothly as well. The transition from child to adult Link was not so smooth. There were a lot of hiccups in that episode that could have been avoided and taken it from 29 to like 24 or something, but it's okay. It still wasn't extremely terribly long, so we're good. So that was okay. And then Ganon's Tower was actually very exceptionally well. You know, the whole tower sequence went very well in my opinion. And I always love this. It looks like a buffer in the middle of your screen. The first time I watched back my very first playthrough, before I uploaded it to YouTube, I'm like, why is this video buffering? It's on my iPod. It's saved here. It shouldn't be buffering. And then I realized that the video was paused. I had paused the video at a very inconvenient time, and when I came back to it, that's where it was at. I'm like, why is it buffering? It's just so funny. But here you go. You have everyone at Lon Lon Ranch celebrating. You got... It's always funny to me. There's the runner guy who we didn't see, by the way, but... You got... There's the Magic Carpet Man, the hippie. We've actually seen two of those guys. The hippie was useful. Magic Bean guy was useful. There's Epona, who we did not get. There is a glitch you can use to get her. I'm kind of torn on making another bonus episode. Like the last time I made a bonus episode that showed off a bunch of different glitches. Kind of want to do that again, but at the same time I don't. Look, allergic to Coco Lady, juggling Cocos. I mean, she's good at juggling, even though they're probably helping her by flying, but... You got the Big Oron there, who would probably be causing an earthquake or some huge rumble, but I guess he's light as a feather. Don't ask me. You got Weep Weep here, which if it took him 30 seconds to move 5 feet, how he got here, I don't know. Don't ask me, okay? That's not for me to decide. That's not for me to concern with. Anyways, let me continue. So Ganon's Tower was good. I regret not showing off the bottle, but again, promise you, when we go through this game and 100% it, or one variation of 100%, I should say, then we will show off the kiss and we will show off the bottle. But I regret not showing off the bottle. The climb down was pretty good. The final Ganon fight went kind of smooth. It wasn't the best. Ideally, you want to roll under him, hit him, roll back. Get him to swing, roll under him, and you can do it very quickly. But he spun a couple times. It was still a good fight. By no means am I saying it was bad. It was still a good fight. We got hit a couple of times. But because we were rolling, we didn't take damage. That's okay. Still, it was a decent fight, I'd say. It wasn't good, wasn't bad. It was probably above decent. Not good, but above decent. So, there was that. And then, I guess that's basically it. I'm glad we didn't have to cut anything out. From what I see, most of the major things that gave me trouble went fairly smoothly, considering. And then a lot of the things I really nail mostly turned into little hiccups. But I'd rather it be that way. I'd rather little hiccups happen and get the major, most time-consuming things nailed, you know? And this always makes me feel so sad too. You just lost Zelda, you just lost the Master Sword, you just lost the feeling of everyone knowing you saved them. And then you're struck with Navi leaving. Navi is gone. Now, there's a lot of controversies to why Navi leaves. It's been officially said by the game director that Navi leaves because she's jealous of Zelda, but a lot of people don't like that theory. I mean, I consider it the canon one just because the director said it. It's what they intended, you know. There's no real arguing that, but a lot of people argue against it, and I could see why. It's just, to me, I find it canon because that's what they say. You know what's surprising? We wasted 2 minutes, not wasted, but it took us 2 minutes to get to the part I said for the 32-minute time start, and we still made it here and are going to get the end screen in 31 minutes. So not only did we save a minute, I guess it was roughly 32, I can't say, but we either did it in the same amount of time, so we either saved 2 or 3 minutes, or we saved like 4 or 5 minutes. Either way, very good. And look at that, iconic. Link went back to Zelda. He remembered and he went back to Zelda. I don't know if she knows who he is, but he's sitting there like, I know you. I know what we've done. It's all up here, baby. It's all up here. My memories don't go away. Anyways, I think I talked about most everything I wanted to. I'm happy to say this. I'm very happy with this reverse dungeon order run. Audio quality was much better. There was no echoes. There was no, the game was much louder than my voice, I feel like it was the game may have been still tiny bit too loud, but I can live with it. The run itself went very well. Everything that happened I'm mostly okay with. Mostly, you know what parts I'm talking about that aren't. But I think we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. If you guys enjoyed, I'm glad. I always have fun recording an RDO. This will probably be the last recorded one. I want to try and get back into streaming the speedruns of it. But if you have any questions about anything about it, let me know. I will try and help you as best I can. And as far as I know, I have the only 3 fully completed reverse dungeon order, this specific run anyways, on YouTube. The first one I did because I wanted it. The second one I did because I wanted it in better quality. And this one was because the first 2 sucked, I did it, and it still happened. So, as far as I know, I have the only 3 complete ones. Alec Kermit has one, but he never finished it, and that's where my inspiration for this run actually drew from. So, thanks to Alec Kermit, up to the Fire Temple is actually more or less the basic outline of the run I used was from him. And then I made tweaks to it. I've changed things. I do things a different way sometimes, but that's where the inspiration drew from. From Forest Temple out is actually my routing and everything to it is my touch. Because there's no other complete run, I have nothing to draw from. So it's me basically, is making that part of the run forward. So, it's something I'm kind of proud of. It's nothing major, but, it's just to me, I'm proud of it, so it's whatever. Anyways, I'll go ahead and get up out of here. Had a lot of fun recording it. Again, any questions, leave them down below in the comments. I will gladly help you as best I can. But that is it for me. This is the end. Ocarina of Time, a beastly game. Love it. Going backwards is always fun. I'm going to get up out of here. Peeps out.